Just tapping in real quick. Um, I know it's late Saturday night. Um, just talking about what's going on briefly. Ain't gonna get into it. No details, really too much details about this Iran, Trump, Netanyahu business. M- m- My take on it is uh, scriptural, not religious, but scriptural, where the Bible is talking about Anticron, talking about God made Pharaoh. God made Pharaoh so powerful that no one could defeat. Supposed to say defeat him, but God Himself, and that's kind of like what we looking at right now. It's definitely it's not. It's looking pretty bad. Let me see. Hold on one second. Edit this real fast. Defeat, yeah, not defear. That's funny. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, I was just looking at AI overview and brought up that little story where it said the man of war, the Lord, who was a man of war, made Pharaoh so powerful that nobody else could defeat Pharaoh but God. So AI overview, it said in the book of Exodus in the Bible, God is depicted as a man of war. Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name, not a spirit, not a spook, not a ghost. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. And it says he sovereignly raised up Pharaoh's power to demonstrate his own ultimate authority and divine power or strength over Egypt. So it says God hardened Pharaoh's heart, using his defiance to display miraculous, or I just say divine power through the plagues that he sent down on Egypt and Pharaoh, and eventually defeating his army at the Red Sea. All of that's symbolic. All of that is something that we all are about to witness. Very soon, we in it now. So this is what this is about. I've been seeing reports that allegedly the supreme leader of Iran, the Ayatollah, is been unalived in the attack, and Trump was on there bragging and saying something about evil or the most evil. Something I didn't even read. I just read the first sentence and I was like, boy. So it comes down to good and evil, God and devil, or God and Satan, I should say, and that's what we're looking at. It's nothing really to say other than what the nation, Minister Farrakhan and Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the nation been saying for 90 something years regarding this people, regarding America and the leader of America and Israel and Europe and their leaders and their people, that whole nation, that whole race of people. And they are absolutely fulfilling what the Nation of Islam prophesied and the Bible and all of that interprets them to be. Um, so it says key aspects of the Bible narrative of the book of Exodus regarding God making this enemy, this Satan, this Pharaoh, so strong that nobody can handle him but himself, but God himself. Said a divine warrior. This is aspects of God. And we know this is not the spook God. This is the God that we claim, that Malcolm X, uh, Farrakhan, Khalid, all the members of the Nation of Islam, as taught by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Um, our God is Master Fard Muhammad. It says the divine warrior, the Lord is described as a warrior who fights for his people, overturning the military might of Egypt or Pharaoh and the Egyptians. Modern day Pharaoh and Egyptians, of course, is America and the ruler of America, or the rulers, Pharaoh and his chiefs, his joint chiefs of staff. Second aspect, according to AI overview, is sovereign purpose. According to the Bible, Romans 9, verse 17 explains that God raised Pharaoh for the specific purpose of displaying his own divine power and proclaiming God's name throughout the earth. Meaning, I'm going to make this enemy, this Satan, so hard hearted, so powerful, so hard headed, so arrogant that no other nation, no other ruler, no other army, nobody else can handle him or defeat him except myself and my messenger that I'm going to give power to, which is Elijah, Muhammad, and Farrakhan. Next key aspect, it says the hardening of the heart of Pharaoh, or the ruler of America. Multiple passages, Exodus 4:21, Exodus 7:3, and Exodus 9, verse 12 indicate that God hardened Pharaoh's heart. God hardened Pharaoh's heart. So while we saying how evil and wicked these people are and why God and this and that is telling you according to the scriptures, if you into that, say God is the one that made this Satan and gave him so much power and gave him dominion to rule and to terrorize and bring hell onto the earth for the last 6,000 years. God made him that strong. And then in the final chapter, the final lap, the final sequel, God specifically empowers and gives this last ruler of this Satan world such power and such a hard heart that it ensures the full display of it says ensuring the full display of divine signs, though this did not alleviate Pharaoh's culpability for his own actions. In other words, he gave this last Satan ruler of this world such power and such a chance, an olive branch, to avoid and avert going down like all of the rest of the wicked rulers before him. Just like Jonah, you know what I'm saying? Like the people of Jonah that could have averted and could have avoided going down this path, but clearly, Mr. President and Netanyahu and company, they didn't want to take the Jonah deal. Apparently, clearly they didn't care about the Jonah offer. So they push play, and so now we're dealing with this. So his heart was hardened. Ultimate victory despite Pharaoh's strength, despite the power and the supreme, superpower of this world that America and Israel has been enjoying for the last few centuries or this century. God shows that no earthly power, no power because God is earthly. Clearly, it said God is a man of this planet, a man of war. The Lord is his name. So God showed that no other power on earth or in the heavens could withstand him, resulting in the destruction of Pharaoh's chariots and army in the Red Sea. So chariots, can be various different types of chariots. It could be chariots on the ground, chariots in the water, chariots in the air. And Red Sea just represents human red plasma fluid shed on a mass scale. A sea of people involved in WAR shedding a sea of red human plasma fluid, life fluid. So I got to talk in code words for this YouTube. But the ultimate victory is that the God himself is the one that made the Satans, made the devils, and empowered them, blessed them to rule and to gain mastery and control and rulership over the planet and over everybody on the planet for the last 6,000 years or 4,000 specifically, and then culminating into what we call the War of Armageddon, the last and final great war that we have just entered. We have been entered it, but now this is the last laps, the last legs of the final war before things get all the way what you think they're gonna get. So it's God, whether we like it or not. Life and death involves God, not religion. It's not about religion. Nobody cares about religion. Religion means nothing here. We want reality. We want the knowledge of who's who and what's what and why is this happening and who allowed it, who caused it to happen, who allows it to happen, who's ultimately in power. So that's all God means. God means just force and power, supreme power. Of course, it has to be intelligent. Electricity ain't God. Energy ain't God. God is a man, a human being, the supreme being, true and living. So you can claim you know God or you believe in God, but you can't prove that your God is true. You can't prove your God is true if it's not a human being. You can't prove your God is living if it's not a human being. The only God is a human being, true and living, supreme being. It's a being, not your imagination, not freestyle dreams or sci-fi sci-fi ghost stories. No, a being is a finite, tangible, you know, life form, life with a form. So God is the supreme being, and God also made devil or Satan and gave Satan and devil power and time, dominion and time to rule in wickedness according to their own wicked nature that God made them with. So this is not about religion, even though Iran and Israel and America, everybody claims a God and claims to be righteous or the chosen righteous God people and all that. That's all deception. That's all tricknology. It's not about religion. It's about reality. It's about proving who's really wicked, who's really the liars and the cheaters and the unalivers, and who is the innocent ones. So the Bible, if you're into that, say that the dragon, spewed forth a flood out of his mouth. And Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that represents a flood of media propaganda, false lies. That's how the devil or Satan or the dragon deceives the whole world by lying and flooding false fake news on a media. Fake lies and stories that this person is a unaliver, a mass unaliver of their own people. This ruler or this leader over here is the most evil leader in history, or this, that's what they do with their media. So that's called the Bible. That's called a flood, a propaganda, false news, false reports to justify their wickedness and justify they launching attacks and preemptive strikes on whoever they claim is the enemy or whatever, and then using our sons and daughters' bodies, uh, you know, to pull it off. So, of course, if you don't know, if you have sons and daughters, nieces and nephews, little brothers and sisters, that they are going to pretty soon implement the draft. They're going to implement the draft. So all of us that's familiar with Muhammad Ali and what he did back in the 60s, conscientious objector, and I'm ready to go to jail. I'm ready to face machine gun fire. I'm ready to whatever die. He said, but I ain't going to no Dwight slave master descendants army or war for them. All of the stuff that we saw that we thought we escaped, or we wasn't in that time in history or whatever. Oh no. All of that was for us to study, because we are absolutely going to be in the worst of it. This generation, us, we're going to absolutely be in the worst of it. And our children or offspring or youth, all of that, the plan has already been set decades ago about Pharaoh and his chiefs and his plans for us, the descendants of slaves: spare the female and unalive the male, sacrifice, destroy the males of the slaves, descendants of slaves. That's us. That's our sons, especially. So they are absolutely going to require our sons to join their military to fight and be unalived and do some unaliving of people that ain't their real enemy, for the sake of America and Netanyahu's people. So I don't know what you're going to do, but clearly, you know, back in Elijah Muhammad was first. Elijah Muhammad, most honorable Elijah Muhammad, they arrested him, I believe, in 1942. 1942, because of that war. And they said that, you know, even though he was too old to be drafted, but they arrested him. He served 4 or 5 years in a penitentiary because of that, because of his refusal to cooperate, and that he was speaking against America trying to prosecute a war and use ignorant black bodies to do it. And then in the Vietnam War in the 60s, most honorable Elijah Muhammad followed his leader, the most honorable Muhammad Ali, excuse me. Muhammad Ali followed his leader, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's example, and took that same position, and became, of course, world renowned and world known for refusing to be inducted into the United States Army. Even if he was going to do exhibition fights, he wouldn't even be in no combat. He was like, nah, I'm not in none of that. I'm not with none of that. I'm a Muslim. We don't believe in taking part in wars that takes the lives of human beings, especially if we don't have nothing to gain from it. We don't have no separate state and territory like Israel. We don't have no reparations. We don't have no 40 acres and no mule for us to be willing to fight and die and send our sons and daughters off to get unalived or unalive somebody else for a people and for a country and a wicked Pharaoh and Egyptians, slave masters of us that ain't never did no good by us. So you and your sons and daughters and family and all of that are about to face what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Farrakhan Muhammad and the Nation of Islam has been trying to teach you and trying to show you by example, leading by example, that maybe you just thought was entertainment. You just thought was something that you could sit on a sideline and eat your popcorn and observe or spectate. Nope, that was all preparation. It was all preparation. But if we took it for granted and we didn't study it and we didn't think that we was going to be put in that same situation, well, guess what? Ready or not, here it is. Ready or not, believe it or not, like it or not, love it or hate it, here it is. So all of this is going to affect every aspect of our life. It's going to get closer and closer and closer to home. It's going to start out, as you can see, with food prices and oil prices and stock market crashing and home prices and taxes and all that. They already shut down, as far as I've been seeing or reading. The Strait of Hormuz, that's the little shipping way, the little sea, little curve in the sea that all oil production has to come through. All Middle Eastern oil has to go through the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran is in charge of that, and they have officially shut that down, and they have officially started sending, they missiles and strikes against major oil fields in Saudi Arabia and UAE, United Arab Emirates, Dubai, and Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain, and some other places. So all of that's going to affect us directly in an economic way, and it's going, Trump and company is going to affect us directly in requiring, by according to their law, requiring your sons and daughters, our sons and daughters, little brothers and sisters, to be drafted to fight and lose their life or take lives for their greatest ally in the region's sake, for their cause. I don't remember seeing Barron Trump signing up. I haven't seen none of these elite Epstein file Caucasian rulers of America or Israel sending their sons, drafting their sons. Their sons should go first, right? Their sons should go first. But, we know we're not gonna see that. So I'm telling you what you are gonna see. You're gonna see your sons and daughters getting letters in the mail that they got to report for duty. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to teach your children to do? What are you going to teach your little brothers and your little sisters, nieces and nephews to do? When, not if, when they send you that letter. So, but yeah, God is the one that raised this enemy for the last 2 years, I guess, maybe more. I've been posting and saying how much I wanted Trump to be the president, and people was like, "Man, you remember you was saying it, yeah." And I told you why. I told you why that I wanted Trump to be the president, and it's for this very reason right here, is because he's going to take, like Minister Farrakhan said, he's going to take America and this world to hell on a rocket ship expeditiously, like Joe Clark, like Crazy Joe, Batman, Joe Clark. He's gonna do it expeditiously, and that's what he's doing. I seen something. Let me see. I seen something. I think I screenshotted this. This is some. I don't know how accurate this is. It says Trump becomes the first president to to do that, to hit 8 countries in just 1 year. Is this accurate, y'all? Iran, Iraq, Nigeria, Palestine, Somalia, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen. And he was running on the promise that he would be no new war, the peace president, the peace president, no new wars. But he then broke the Guinness Book of World Records of 8 of them in just 1 year. But that's why I wanted him to be president. I'm not gonna lie, because we can't take no more of this. It has to be over with. We already 112 years into extension of time of the end of their rule, the end of their world. The end of their rule was in 1914. In 1914 was the end of their rule. So they already have had 112 years of extension or grace extension because of our remaining mentally dead, because of the chosen people of God, the real chosen people of God, the black descendants of slaves and the native indigenous remaining asleep, not waking up. So our slowness to wake up allowed them 112 extra years of rulership and putting us through hell and growing in wickedness and growing in cold-bloodedness, cold-heartedness, and laying on us a a high technology type of hell that we never experienced before. But the God wrote, it was written that the God was going to do this. He was going to make this Pharaoh so powerful, because they wasn't this powerful 112 years ago. 112 years ago, they barely was having the first Ford motor cars, barely was Orville and Wilbur Wright. They just start flying a human being with little cotton paper airplane, bicycle engine, wings, and so they wasn't no super great power 112 years ago in 1914. They are now. They are now. They are the super nuclear, technologically superior, advanced, deadly, most deadly enemy in the annals of history of the last 6,000 years. They are that now. So, whoever God is, this is not religion. This is not about religion. I can't stress that enough. God is not religion. Devil is not religion. It's reality. It's the nature of the forces of human beings, the nature of the characteristics of human beings. There, you don't have to worry about no dragons and no monsters and all of that. That's just symbolic language. There is no monster outside of the human being. The human being is the monster. The human being is the dragon, is the beast, is the wolf, is the vipers, is the swine. That's all talking about characteristics of certain types of human beings, especially the grafted ones, especially the recessive, meaning the opposite of original, meaning the white human beings. It's easily, mathematically, genetically, naturally proven and provable. Historically, we know the history of these people. We know their nature. We know what they like to do. We know what, satisfies their nature. Just like we like doing good and charity and love and offer people stuff that they didn't earn. They like the opposite. Their nature is to do the opposite. They love to covet and take and rob and, hunt. Some creatures, especially if they have the nature of a beast, they just are predators. Their nature is just a predator. They might not even be hungry. They just like chasing down innocent life and sheep or whatever, just to practice unaliving them, just to practice terrorizing, practice they skills of how to take life. Natural born unalivers. That's what this Satan is. Satan is not a ghost. Satan is not a spirit. Satan is not a spook. Satan is a people, just like God is a people. Angels are people. Devils, demons are people. All of it is talking about people. There's no, like I said, no fifth dimension alien, invisible realm people that's doing nothing. There's no being superior or supreme over the human being. The human being is the supreme being. Whether you supreme in righteousness or supreme in wickedness, there is no being superior to the human being. You claim your God is superior, show him to me. Prove it. Prove it. That's your imagination. That's your dreams. That's some ghost stories that you was taught. Ain't no God superior than the human being. Show them to me. Prove it right now. I'll whip out my God. You whip out your spook, unexplainable spirit, superior, higher power God, and watch which one win. Put your life on it. I'm going to put my life on my flesh and blood black man God. You put your life on your mystery, imagination, higher power God, and let's see which ones actually can take the other one out. So that is our problem. Our problem is we have been deceived by Satan, by the actual Satan that's teaching you that Satan or God is something else. You have been taught, I have been taught by Satan, raised by Satan. What's your last name? If you a black person, descendant of slaves, what's your last name? What language do you speak? It ain't your original language. It ain't your God language, that's for sure. You speaking Satan language. You speaking the slave master's language. You wearing the slave master's name. You thinking with the slave master's concepts and false ideas and fairy tale ghost stories. You scared to turn the lights off at night. You scared to go to sleep without the radio or the TV on. No, we are totally turned inside out, upside down, totally robbed of the knowledge of self. There is no God but the human being. I'm going to say that two more times. There is no God but the human being. There is no supreme being, God, except the human being. Right? Do you believe? Like I said, you could think that's crazy. Matter of fact, I'll open the lines up because I definitely want to have that talk. I don't really want to argue negatively because it's Ramadan, but you know, the Satans have already waged war on us during Ramadan. So if you think or you want to talk or you believe that your God is something other than a human being, and you think that us calling God human being is crazy or shirk or blasphemy or you know our soul should be damned or that's polytheism or whatever you want to call it, do you believe in the Messiah? Do you believe in the Messiah? Messiah is Jesus, right? Do you believe in the Messiah? Because the Messiah apparently is with God right now. If you believe the Messiah is 2050 some years old, 2059 years old, then how do you explain that? What's keeping him alive? He was born out of a flesh and blood black woman, womb, Mary. Why did she die, but he's alive? How is your Jesus 2059 years old and you believe in Islam? You believe in Allah, but you got a problem with us saying that Allah is in the person of Master Fard Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, but you believe in a 2059-year-old Jesus and you claim to be a Muslim. How do you explain that? Right? G House, thank you, G House. G House said, do you think the number of years of grace align with the number of surahs in the Holy Quran of 114 years of grace? Man, absolutely. I just didn't want to say that. I absolutely believe that. G House, excellent observation. Certain things I just don't say because a lot of us ain't into that. But I absolutely agree with that. And I absolutely think that, G House, that this grace number is absolutely aligned with the number of surahs or chapters in the Quran. Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. So yeah, we all are gods. We're all little seeds, little baby seeds sprouting. We're not crazy and acting like that. We are mature and we strong in our God expression, but we are just sprouting up. That's why the dragon wants to devour the baby. We're babies in the knowledge of our God self. So they want to hurry up and devour us, the little baby, as soon as we born. But if a God keeps us away from the face of the dragon and we allow to mature and stay alive for a couple of years, 2 or 3 or 4 years, then we not crawling no more and we able to walk, then our natural God powers is matured, then you know, we don't got to worry about this beast eating us because they can't handle us at that point. But you know, we babies. We babies in the knowledge of God. We babies in the knowledge of Satan. That's why they can do so much damage and deceive us or whatever, because we still babies. We don't really know who they are. We haven't been studying this God teaching or feeding off of this God food long enough. Some of us have. I'm talking about members of the nation, they have, but our people in general haven't. They don't even want to say they Muslim. They don't even want to affiliate themselves with Farrakhan or the Nation of Islam. Somebody has taught you that, I've seen some dude, this this fat little dude named Bobby Hemmett or something like that. He's saying that Farrakhan is the number one agent of the government or something like that. Like, so characters like that get a microphone and just say stuff for shock value instead of looking at the proven track record in history and work and army and nation that Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan or Messiah Farrakhan has rebuilt. You got people out here that want to spend their time and their energy and their voice and their influence to speak ill and blaspheme the work in the name of Farrakhan and the NOI right now. It's a lot. It's a lot of hypocrisy that's going on right now that we witnessing, and you're gonna witness even more of it. And that's a beautiful thing to me. I love seeing it. I love seeing it because I know what's gonna happen with these characters. But all of that is allowed, and all of that is also promoted by the God, by the true and living Black Supreme Being, God, Master Fard Muhammad, and Mahdi Elijah Muhammad, because Elijah Muhammad is God now. He's a God now. He's not dead, not physically dead. He's physically alive, 129 years old, right? Master Fard Muhammad is 20 years older than the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They're both alive. They're both in their hundreds. They're both in power. One, of course, is superior to the other. Master Fard Muhammad, of course, is superior, but that's a rank, or those is levels that we we can't even gauge or grade. For all intents and purposes, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the Almighty God, because Master Fard Muhammad made him all up into himself and shared with him and only him the secret that he has not been revealed in 76 to 78 trillion years of the power of how the God brought himself into existence or originated creation. That is the knowledge and the grade level and the supreme God power. That knowledge is power that Master Fard Muhammad has come into and has shared with his messenger and made him into a God. If you into the Bible and you into the story of Moses and you read where Moses went up to be, 40 nights, 40 days or 40 nights to be with God, and God made him into a God and made Aaron his prophet among the people, that happened. Elijah Muhammad is God now. You can take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still willing, in the best manner to reason or argue with you during Ramadan in the best manner over these ideas. Because if you feel confident enough to believe that the Messiah, you're a Muslim, a Sunni, or whatever Muslim, and you believe the Messiah is still alive physically somewhere with Allah, and you believe he didn't have no biological father, that sounds way crazier than what I'm talking about. That sounds very crazy, right? There's nothing, it's people on this earth that's 129 years old. That's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched to even be 149 years old. Especially if you claim to believe in all this religion stuff, all these prophets supposed to be living in 500, 600, 700, 800, 900 years. But it's impossible if it's a nigga. If it's a nigga, this impossible to you. Ain't no nigga my savior. Ain't no nigga my Messiah. Ain't no nigga God. But you can conceive, you don't have no problem conceiving that that's a white Michelangelo, you know what I'm saying? Willie Nelson looking Jesus that's 2,059 years old, and you still want to believe in that. But we tell you that no, the real Mahdi, the real Messiah, the real God in person is a black man from the descendants of slaves. Oh, nigga, you crazy. You the number one agent of the government. Oh, you part of the Illuminati. Are you this or you that? Oh, okay. Well, I dare you. I double dog dare you to get on here and show me your God and show me any proof that whoever you believe is God or Messiah or Jesus or Muhammad or Mahdi or whatever, that you can show better receipts than I can. I would love for you to pull up. Here's the StreamYard link again. Because now we on some common sense warfare. Now we on some critical thinking, common sense warfare. We pray to a man, Master Fard Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad. Right? Is that polytheism? Is it? It depends on what you understand God to be. Do you think God is one individual? How do you know what your Allah is if you don't even understand? If I ask you what is Allah? Well, he's not a man. Well, it don't say that in the Quran. How can you claim to know Allah and you don't know what he is? You can't show him to him. You can't explain him. That means you don't know. If you can't explain something, that means you don't know. You don't know. So how can you be proud or whatever? You can't do nothing but get emotional and want to hurt something. You want to go to war just like emotional, ignorant, blind worshipers do. But no, we into the knowledge, the science, the proof of Allah. The proof of Allah, the proof of what God is, who God is, how God is, where God is, why God is, all of the questions that you don't have no answers to. And then you get enraged that the Nation of Islam does have the answers. And then proves that Allah is the original man. Oh Lord. That's so profoundly provable. The original. We can take the word man out of it. Is Allah the original? Is Allah the originator? Do you call Allah a he? Do you call Allah a she? Do you call Allah a it? No. He means man. Originator means original. Who is the original man? It has to be Allah, right? Allah has two hands. Allah has eyes. Allah has legs, a body, feet, according to the Quran. Who is the original man? The Asiatic black man. Black is original. Black is original. So if Allah has a color, because clearly he has a body, he has body parts, he got hands, two hands, he got eyes, he got ears. What do they look like? Your Quran say he got all of that. What do they look like? Do they got a color? What is the color of original? What is the color of original? So that's why they don't want to show up, because they know that our argument is invincible. They know that our receipts, our logic, our critical thinking, our way of showing and proving is invincible. So you would just be making a fool of yourself, a bigger fool of yourself to argue. You would show that you are clearly 5150, emotionally unstable and insane, unsound, by claiming that you believe in a higher power. What the hell is a higher power? What is a higher power? Oh, my bad. Madan.
My bad, Cam. My bad. I'm been laughing. I thought,
what up, Cam? On here, man. Hold on. Let me get you on here. Madan Commit. Salute, man. I'm sorry, bro. I was running my mouth.
Nah, it's good. You was going in. Salute, Cam. What's going down?
Oh, man. Just Ramadan, man. Happy Ramadan and peace and blessings to you and everybody, on the live. I didn't really want to go too much into details of this
Mm-hmm.
uh, this WAR business, but I at least wanted to talk to us and prepare us for how it's going to affect us. But that's about it. But what kind of stood out? Did I say something that kind of made you uh have a comment?
Well, I was just I was soaking it all in, man. I know it's Ramadan. You don't want to go, So I was just kind of, I don't know
Yeah.
what to kind of touch on and what not to.
Yeah, I mean, you can speak on whatever you want to, but you know, me because I'm a uh I ain't gonna say high profile, but I know eyes and ears is on me, and I got the FBI file, and these people is looking and listening for anybody that so called represents Farrakhan to say something out of pocket, at
Hmm.
this hour in this hour when they prosecuting this stuff that they doing right in Iran. So I'm not trying to touch on none of that. I'm just trying to just focus on us and how these things are affecting us or about to affect us.
I got you. Well, yeah. Well, I will speak on when you was talking about a higher power and how our people they see like this Jesus being 2,000 and some years old and and stuff like that and how
Hmm.
why they can't consider this or consider that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and what is going on in Iran with Israel and America, what that has to do with us, because what they have done to us for the last 400 years here, and what they've been doing to all darker people and people that they don't have deceived
Hmm.
throughout the world, it forces us to have to ask, who is God? Like, where is God at? Why is God allowing this to happen? You know what I'm saying? These
Yeah.
dudes can just, whenever they feel like it, they can just go do regime change and assassinate a sovereign president, go into his own country and take him out. But then we don't see nobody able to seem to be able to do Netanyahu or American presidents like that.
Mm. Yeah, because I seen some earlier, man, that kind of it almost it made me feel some type of way, man. But there was this one news reporter. She was saying how the Israeli intelligence, pretty much let them come together during prayer and
Mm,
then attack them, fool them into waited till they one of the most precious moments.
yeah.
And court, what I'm saying? It's just I'm like that's beyond diabolical.
Yeah, and they do that on purpose. And then Trump, writes a big letter talking about the Ayatollah, whoever was supposed to be so evil, and he's the most evil, this and that. But we see in the news reports what little Iranian dude got a little girl arm in his hand. You know what I'm saying? And it's over 60 little girls in a school that they allegedly took out. Um, but the point, I mean, coming back to the point is why hasn't any American president got done like that by a foreign nation? You know,
Mm. Hmm.
Americans, or maybe Netanyahu's people had something to do with JFK. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't no ain't no outside other people that has ever been able to do American presidents the way that American presidents in Israel or whatever seem to be able to do to every other president in the world.
Yeah, they look unstoppable.
Yeah, so they are, because of the title. God, Allah made Pharaoh so powerful that none could defeat him
Mm.
but he himself. And he does it in the form of raising up a nigger, a ex nigger, from the slaves of the people that enslaved us, and giving him the power to do it himself.
Mm.
That's what we represent. That's what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is, that Almighty God that was given that power and that key. And that's who we are. We are the sons of Elijah. We the sons of the Mahdi and daughters, the sons and daughters of light. and the great and dreadful, great and decisive final battle is going to be fought in the sky, and it's going to have something to do with the so-called UFO phenomenon and all that. And they know this, and they also know certain astrological, astronomical, astronomy times or whatever to launch certain things. It's one thing, like you said, it's diabolical, satanically diabolical to attack a people when you know they're praying. It's another thing to attack a people when you know this is their holy month.
Mm.
So not only are they praying, that they in a whole Ramadan fast and praying, focusing on peace, was right in the middle of a peace deal, thinking that it's all good, with America.
Mm.
And that's when they did that. So,
Man, oh my bad.
no, go ahead.
Man, well, I was watching. I don't know if it's. You just let me know if it's okay. I remember I was watching the minister about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't know if it's cool to speak on it, but you give me the green light.
Oh, go ahead.
It
Yeah,
ain't
I'm not gonna speak, but you can speak.
okay. Cool. Well, I was watching the minister about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Man, it was some dude. He was having an interview with when he had. They was talking about when he had went to Iran, and he was telling the Iranian leaders way back then. I forgot when the interview took place. I know it was years ago. And he was telling them, he's like, well, he was telling Iranian people or leaders was like, well, look, you can't chant death to
Right.
America and then come to the table with them and think they're gonna have peaceful talk and think
Hello.
they're gonna
Oh,
forget about it. Huh? Oh, can you hear me?
my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi. Go ahead. Say it again.
Okay, yeah. The minister was basically it was a interview way back. He was telling the Iranian leader, he was like, look, y'all can't be out here chanting deletion to America and then come to the table with them and sit down with them and think they're gonna forget about it. No. And so when they talk about how they was having these talk and then they just hit it, it just reminded me of what the minister said, and I was like, man, that's amazing. He was
Yeah.
spot on.
Yeah. And he said that when he was speaking to Iranian people, the Iranian leadership and people, he said, I'm not going to chant that. I'm not going to chant, death to America or nothing like that. He said, America and Israel in the West is not your problem. Your problem is the Islamic world's problem is that we deviated from the path of the prophet, peace be
Mm,
upon him. So that deviation could be in the form of believing in their promises or wanting to come to the table and do deals with infidels, and they infidels. Like, if you compromise in your faith, you know what I'm saying, then that could be a form of deviation, or it might be even more blatant forms of deviation where you literally in bed with the Satans,
mm,
knowing that they doing this against the Palestinians, or they doing this against black people, or they doing this against, other nations or whatever, and you like, well, they ain't doing it against us, you know.
mm,
So it's the deviation or the looking the other way when it's convenient, when it's something in it for you, instead of just outright standing 10 toes down against them, period. So, and they claim the Mahdi also, the Shia Muslims, they are, they're with the Mahdi. They believe in the Mahdi. They believe in Allah in the person of a man.
mm,
And that's why they've been the most difficult and the last of the Islamic world countries for America and Israel to be able to try to attack or take down, because it's something about understanding or believing in the power of God in human being, in human flesh, that makes you so formidable, makes you so unpunkable. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It don't mean that you ain't got hypocrites and clowns and agents in your ranks or in your country or whatever that's willing to sell you out or be spies or whatever. But generally speaking, those who believe that Allah or God is in person, those are the superior fighters. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about no reward or no heaven after you physically die. If that exists, I guess you deal with that when you get there. But we believe that Allah is in person. We believe that we grow into mastery and bliss and heaven and power and perfection while we live through struggle, through war. You don't get there except through struggle and through war, holy war. First, the internal war, fighting against our own internal ignorance and weakness and addictions and flaws and character flaws and all of that. But, this is what we believe makes us purified and holy and worthy is fighting. Not fighting against the righteous, not fighting for the sake of fighting, but fighting against the negative and wicked force that that's the natural thing. That's the natural resistance, natural adversary. If you go to the gym and you pushing up against, you pushing weight, that represents negative force, resistance. But the more you push it, the more that, I'm saying, you working out with it, you becoming a master, and your physique, your power, your strength, everything is all benefits. But if you look at that as a chore or slavery, or I don't feel like fighting, I don't feel like working out, I don't feel like, okay, well then you a sucker. You firewood. Now you compost, you fertilizer then. You know what I'm saying? Our whole thing is supposed to be righteous warfare. We go to war for peace. We go through hell for heaven. You don't get that for free. So thank you, Brother Brant, Brother Salim Muhammad. Thank you, Brother Brant. This episode, this late night, Saturday Night Live episode is being brought to us by our brother, our Compton FOI OG, Brother Brant X, formerly Brant X, Brother Salim Muhammad. Thank you, my bro. Well, what was you saying again, Madonna?
Oh no, you kind of answered. We was talking about basically how the minister warned them about, hey, when you say these type of things, you better, make sure you really gonna stand on that,
Yeah. They're gonna make us stand on it. Like, whether we say it or not, that's the nature of a predator. You can be a little lamb, you can be a little sheep, a lost sheep, chosen children of God. But if you lay down and act like you helpless and you don't want to fight, I don't want no conflict, I don't want no problem, you just making yourself a free lamb chop meal for the wolf. You better fight him. You better kick, you better scream, you better bite, you better do something. Because you not fighting back is not going to stop the wolf from eating your ass.
Facts.
You just like dumb, like you super dumb. You just gave your whole free life meal to the wolf. No, you don't just nah, you fight. We have to fight.
Yeah.
That's your nature, is to fight. You fought when you was a sperm. You didn't just, lay up against the, the little semen flow, and what I'm saying, no, you was taking charge of the semen flow. You was using that head and that tail, fighting against the upstream current or the hostile environment. You got there, you got to that egg, you fought. You was the number one fighter in that whole load that your daddy shot out. We get here and turn into punks. Nah, we here to fight. Fighting ain't an evil thing. That's not a bad thing. Struggle is ordained. That's all war is. It's just struggle. It's just like working out. Just learn to appreciate it. Learn to like it. Learn to love it. You learn to love cigarettes and alcohol and weed and everything else that tastes nasty or is poison and tearing your organs up. You learn to love that.
Yeah, that's real.
Learn to love working out. Learn to love fighting against the devil. No, because I am a devil.
Man.
Even Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was a devil. He learned how to fight against his own white wicked nature and became righteous and holy and became immortal. To right now, we saying peace and blessings. We saying, peace be upon him. A white man, 1,400-year-old white man that was so 10 toes down on using the black man's nature or religion called Islam. It was a religion to him, for him. It's just our nature, but he studied our nature so perfectly and applied it that he was able to um, exercise his own demon devil nature and become holy and earn the name Muhammad and make himself immortal, holy prophet, to where we send peace and blessings upon him to this day, 1400 years later. So if he could do that, imagine what we should be doing as the actual original gods, people. I refuse. This is no disrespect. I refuse to let any white man outdo me in righteousness or divine accomplishments. This is no disrespect to the holy prophet, but that's our son. That's our Muslim son. That is not my equal, in genetics and in rank and in suffering and affliction. So if we done already went through the worst hell, why not get a return on your investment? Why not get a divine, holy, divine reward and get the real crown? Like, you already suffered the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You already got traumatized and totally destroyed. Why not get divine retaliation? Why not get divine vengeance from the God that's here to do it? Why would you believe that he ain't here, like the God that you believe that did all this for thousands of years ago for this people and that people? Come on, man. I'm cool. I have no problem just dying on this faith and this belief in this flesh and blood God and this logic that I believe God has come for us, just like you believe he came for all of the other people in the thousands of years ago. I know I don't even believe. I know that Master Fard Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad are the one. And Farrakhan. So it's whatever, man. But everybody is going to get forced into this. Each moment, each day that go by now that they done kicked off this Iran thing is going to affect every single one of us. You know how we talking about, well, what do Palestine and Israel and all that going on? They ain't black. They ain't worried about us. Why are we worried about them? Because we're their parents. We're responsible for our offspring all over the planet. You want to be God, the black man is God, when it's convenient, but you don't want to be responsible for the little demon children that you made.
Man.
So we gotta own up today, and we gotta take full accountability. If you want to claim that you God, then all the devilishment and satanic stuff that's going on, you was the author of it. You're responsible for it. God made devil. Now answer that.
Man.
They want to call themselves God. Yeah, God, I'm God. Okay, well, why you ain't taking care of devil? What are we supposed to be doing about this devil that you done brought onto the planet that's bombing everything? Duh. I done heard so many people lately trying to claim Elijah Muhammad, but leaving Farrakhan out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, man. It's been coming out the woodworks lately.
Yeah, man. But I love it. I really ain't even upset. I'm just like, I'm actually tickled because I know what's going to happen. Now I just, these are just people that I can keep my eye on because I'll speak, inshallah, God willing, after Ramadan is over with, then I'll speak some specifics on what I see coming or what I'm willing or what I already prayed for. Because I definitely prayed. I definitely have prayed. A matter of fact, let me see. Here's a picture of us praying in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? See all of that looked like Orthodox. It looked like y'all really learned how to pray, huh? Y'all doing salat and dua, like, but who are we praying to? Who do you think we focusing on? The mystery spook, formless energy god, Allah? Who you think we bowing to? Who you think we communicating with? You know, that's who I'm praying to. I'm praying for my enemy. I'm praying that Allah destroys our enemy. I'm praying that Allah harden their heart and destroy their riches and their wealth. You know what I'm saying? And make them remain disbelievers until they see the painful chastisement. I'm praying for the hypocrites. I'm praying for, hey, it's, I want to keep it positive right quick. I mean, this is not that it's negative, but I just want to keep it cheerful. So anyway,
I feel
it's wartime. So we must know the time and what must be done according to the time. If it's wartime, you're not praying for fun and games, right? Do you think the people in Iran is worried about a sports game or worried about a party or worried about, what you think they most focused on right now?
man, I feel that.
So as their fathers, as the original man, the fathers and mothers of civilization, you don't think we should be feeling that? We shouldn't be feeling the pain of our offspring or the races, the children that we made and what they're going through, especially if they're trying to be like us and they trying to live according to our righteous nature, which is Islam. They're not our bosses. They're not our leaders. They're not qualified to lead us, but we still feel the pain of our children, of our people. When I say our people, the people that want our nature, that want to practice our nature, which is Islam. Even if you don't call it Islam, you can call it Christianity, you can call it Judaism, as long as it's righteous. It's the nature of the original black man. It's all of our prophets. It's all the same God. Whatever name you know him or you call him as, just don't call him a spook mystery ghost. Because it ain't no he. There's no he mystery spook ghosts. He means penis and testicles. Otherwise, it's it or she. If you ain't calling your Allah or your God or your Yahweh or Yeshua or whatever, you ain't calling it or she, then you bearing witness that your God is a human being, a human man. So that's who we focus on. That's who I pray to. I pray to the mind of a human man, a living human, a live human man that's breathing just like I am. Don't pray to no dead people.
Man, I feel I felt too when you was talking about like we should feel for our children like for as Iran and stuff because earlier when I first saw that earlier, man, I felt it so hard I had to sit down for a minute. I'm like, damn, I don't know how it hit me like that so hard, but I felt the pain of the whole Iranian people to a degree. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it's really we have the right to be enraged at these Satans, these slave masters, our slave masters' children, the ones from the Ashkenazis, the architects of the transatlantic slave trade, as well as the Gentile Goyim, Trump and them, the redneck ones, because they was offered peace. They was offered a chance. They was offered a way out. They was offered to be averted, to avert what's coming, but they chose this, and then they chose to do it at this time, and they chose what they chose. So definitely Allah is enraged at them, but we already know that they was made to be destroyed. But this is a test on the rest of them. This is a test on the other white people of America and Israel and Europe. Now the gods are requiring you to stand and go to WAR against your own wicked elite rulers. That's what this is about. You know.
Yeah, that remind that remind me of this white dude I was watching earlier. He said because they had named the war, they named the occupation Operation Epic Fury, and
Oh,
the white boy was like, "Nah, it's Operation Epstein Fury or something like." He had me rolling.
Epstein Fury, huh?
Yeah,
Epic Fury. Just think of that. What do you have to be furious about?
right.
No, the God is furious. The gods are furious, and the righteous is furious. The earth is furious at the wicked. My bro Stanley, my OG, um, student minister of Compton Mines 54 in the 90s, my bro Stanley Muhammad. He said in the book of Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1 says, to everything there's a season and a time for every purpose under the sun or heavens, a time to be born, a time to die, a time for peace, and a time for war. What time is it now? Clearly, wartime, nation time, the end of time, the end
Mm,
of the time of the devils, the Satans to rule. And that's why this is a great day. It's a great and a dreadful day. The Bible says, we shouldn't grieve, but when we see all these things, we should rejoice. Rejoice, ye, all ye in the heavens, right?
mhm,
But woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, the people that's still functioning on the worldly pursuits, chasing the bag, chasing booty, and chasing whatever else, fame or whatever. Woe to you, because the devil has come down on you, having great wrath, great fury. That's where the epic fury is coming from, because they know they have but a short time left. They know their time is
mhm,
up. They know they in checkmate, 40 miles above them. They know that the gods and the angels have been given their assignment and given the green light, and certain curses are taking place that they'll never promote on their media. Certain plagues, certain losses that they taken. I'm talking about the elite, that they will never tell you about, because that will give us too much confidence and energy.
mhm,
um so pardon me, yeah. So God, Allah, man, the original black man, Master Fard Muhammad, and the most honored, the most honorable Mahdi, Almighty God, Elijah Muhammad, they are the ones in power. They are the ones that have made this Pharaoh, ruler of America and Israel and Europe, those rulers, those heads of the dragon, made them so powerful that nobody can handle this one, especially but God himself. So he raises one from the children of slaves and gives him the key, and gives him the power to destroy their world. And then they seem to be passing the key on down. First, Master Fard Muhammad had the key, and then he gave it to Elijah. And then Elijah got the key, and now he's giving it, he's handing it down, because they apparently, this is beneath them. This is, this Satan and their powers is so child's play to Elijah that he like, no, I'm gonna give it, I'm gonna pass the key on down to, to the Messiah. And according to the Bible, one of these characters, the Bible say the seventh angel, not the first, not the second, not the third, not the God originator, not the supreme 24th scientist. It says the seventh angel. This is the deadly, dreadful one. This is the worst in power, righteous of all of them. And this is the one that puts one foot on land and one foot on water, and raises his two hands up to the heavens and calls time, says, time that thou knowest, time shall be no more. Time's up. And that is Farrakhan. I'm just going to tell you straight up. That's Farrakhan. So he has already been given the key. I can't tell you how things is going to go. I know that the trial of the departure of Farrakhan is not going to go the way that we think, because otherwise it wouldn't be a trial. It wouldn't be a test. There's definitely going to be some major curveballs and some major um, deceptions from the enemy, as well as some righteous deceptions from the God that's going to test and try our faith in Elijah and Master Fard Muhammad, our faith in Minister Farrakhan's words and teachings, because his departure ain't going to go the way you think, the way we think. It's not going to go the way we think. Just get that in y'all mind. Farrakhan's departure from among us is not going to go the way we think, regardless of the certain details that he gave us, certain principles, not details, but certain principles and certain details. Is not going to go the way we think. Just understand that. Just understand that. But he is 100% telling the truth. He is 100% who we say he is. He is 100% that man that I just said. But they planning, they planning like they always have, and they can't lay hands on him. They know they can't lay. Just look how easy it seems like the God is letting Netanyahu and Trump and whoever put hands on all kind of Muslim leaders and get rid of them. Don't it seem like it'd be super easy to put their hands on Farrakhan?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why ain't did it? According to Bobby Hemmett, they haven't did it because Farrakhan works for the devil. He's the most successful agent of the United States government that we ever had, according to Fat Man Bobby Hemmett that I just seen today. So I don't know how long ago he said that, but it's clowns like that keep the circus going.
You know that brother Bobby Hemmett, he had a real bad stroke some years back here. The brother Bobby Hemmett, he had a real bad stroke back here some years ago, and I don't think he can. I think the brother he got in bad shape right now.
Oh well, no comment on that. But yeah, so this is about us. This is about us focusing on the God and how God operates, how the black man, the supreme military scientist, works. And he says, sure, the Holy Quran says, I give them respite. I postpone their chastisement. Surely my scheme is effective. This is the God talking about his military strategy of how he sets up the wicked, how he allows them to rejoice or think that they have won. And in the middle of them rejoicing, then he strikes and pulls them down to the abyss, and they are in utter despair. So we have to be patient enough and faithful enough to know that when it looks like the enemy is successful or succeeding, or it look like he has won, that don't sell out. Don't let your faith break. If anything, that's when you're supposed to expect extremely, divine turn of the tables. But they have to be in a position where they look like they have won. Understand that. I'm talking to members of the nation. I'm talking about people that ain't in the nation, that when they see certain things that it look like, that Farrakhan is dead and the nation is, confused and this and that, that is not the time to trip out. That's the time to strengthen up your faith and know that very shortly, we are taught within 3.5 years, 3.5 year period. That's what the Bible says, what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said. That's what Minister Farrakhan has said. So we know the time frame. It's in the book. 3.5 years. And after that, America's power will be broken in war in that 3.5 year period. So whenever that 3.5 year period starts, from what I understand, it starts as soon as the minister departs. So from the time that the minister departs from among us, that 3.5 year clock starts. And in that 3.5 years, America's power will be broken in war. And we at it. We right at it. So, but yeah, that's what we pray for. That's what we pray to. And we fight. We are fighting for our nature. We are fighting for our nation. And we will surely win with our Savior and deliverer, Allah, Master Fard Muhammad, and Elijah Muhammad, the universal King. We are not praying to spooks and ghosts. We are not believing in fairy tale, unexplainable energies as God or as Allah. Our Allah is in the person of the original black man, original black nation, male and female. Even though the male is built and designed for aggressive, the aggressive brunt, to bear the aggressive brunt, but the black woman is also God, the second self of God or Allah. But we not polytheists. That don't mean that we worshiping various different gods. We worshiping the one. We are one. Why would Allah in your holy Quran refer to himself as any kind of royal we? Why would he call himself we at all if he's so against polytheism? If he don't want us to even conceptualize the idea of visualizing more than one Allah, why is he calling himself we? Why would you even claim that, oh, that means the royal we? Like, what? The we means we, though, right? We means more than one person, right? Why would your Allah confuse us with some concept that you call the royal we? All throughout the Quran, Allah is referring to himself as we. And you say that don't mean the word we. We mean something else to you. No, we mean exactly what it sounds like. We means we. Allah in the person of all. What'd you say, Madon? My Wi-Fi tripping.
Yeah, I thought it was my Wi-Fi. Nah, I was just agreeing with you, man. Like, yeah, they what you think is, we to my French, but we know what we mean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. It don't mean French. We means we. Why does your Quran say we? Period. Why does all the translators of Quranic Arabic, Orthodox Islamic translators of the Holy Quran, they all say we. They all say that Allah is calling himself we. Just like the Bible is saying us, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. We know that that's talking about what our and we really and us really mean. Why, if the number one shirk or crime or unforgivable sin is in Islam or in the Quran is that we associate partners with Allah, why the hell is he calling himself we anything? Right?
Yeah.
Why play with that pronoun at all? Why it's only supposed to be I and me, never we. Don't play that semantics or that just means in Arabic. We means shut up. None of that's supposed to say we. None of that is supposed to say we unless it means we.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Why would you confuse people with something that serious?
Right.
Oh, that means the royal we. What the hell is the royal we?
You ain't lying. That's so crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, Allah is in the person of all of us. Collectively, we are Allah. We are one. That's why Surah chapter 112, and it's interesting. Like Brother G said, we in the 112th year of extension of grace from the end of the devil's time, which was 1914. And the 112th surah is always the surah or the chapter of the Quran that so many Orthodox and Sunni Muslims love to use as their proof or their excuse or their claiming that Allah is only one and none is like him. But it's called the unity. Chapter 112 is called the unity. And it says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. Say, He, Allah, is one. Allah is He upon whom all depend. He neither begets nor is He begotten, and there's none comparable to Him or none like Him. Right? So He is like the man, man. Let us make man. Does that mean let us make one individual? Let us make man in our image and after our likeness. That's the same as He. That means we. That's a we. Let us make man. And if we're the man that's getting made, we're the Adam or the Adamic race or the Adamites, then Adam is a we. Adam is a male and female and a whole race, a whole nation of people. Adam is a nation. The Bible says, and He called their name Adam. He and she. Adam and Eve, He called both of their names and their people. The name of their people is Adam. So that's the same concept. He, Allah, is one. He meaning we, the black man. Right? The black man is one. Why does that need to be righteous by nature? Exactly. Surah 112, the unity. Why does that need to be called the unity if He's only one person? Say He, Allah, is one. Allah is He upon whom nothing is independent, but upon whom all depend. He neither begets nor is He begotten, and there is none like Him. How the hell is that a unity? How is that talking about unity? Unless that He that He's talking about is a whole species, a whole nation. Say He, the nation of the black nation is the He. Say He, Allah, one. All of us are one. Allah, this nation is He upon whom nothing is independent. Nothing is independent of the black nation, but upon whom all depend. All depend on us because all of the nations got they life from us. They came from us. Right? So we don't beget, meaning the mastery, whatever that is that makes us the original. You don't beget that. The original stays original. We don't beget originality, nor is originality begotten. We just are. And what Allah is a rank. Allah means rank. Allah don't mean just what it means a title too, but it don't just mean a name. Allah is 99 the holy, righteous, wise attributes of creation. The master of that. Allah means a person that is the master. There's not a electricity force. It's not some imagination, unexplainable higher power. This is a man with two hands, eyes, ears, shin, feet, all the stuff that the Quran says Allah has. That is the master of the 99 attributes of the sciences of everything in life and in reality, in flesh and blood. So a master does not beget his mastery to nobody. If I'm a master, just because I have a child, my child is not going to be able to inherit my mastery. The child has to achieve and attain and work and discipline and sacrifice and do whatever he got to do to become to earn himself to become a master also. I don't beget mastery. So Allah is mastery. It is the supreme level of mastery. That's what Allah is. So even though our bodies are the bodies of Allah, we're the potential houses and vessels or whatever, the seeds or of Allah, the actualization of His power is in mastery, is the mastery of the original black man, who is the supreme master of the sciences of everything in life and reality. So that doesn't beget, nor is that begotten. And none is like Him. None is already like the black nation, But the black nation or individual black man who has that level of mastery, especially none is like him. None is like us because all of the rest of the races and all of the people on the planet have a maker. The white race has a maker. It was made from the yellow man. The yellow man has a maker. They was made from the brown man or the red man. The brown man has a maker. It was made from the black man. But who made the black man? Who's the father and mother of the black man? There's the mystery. I'm saying there's the mystery God question right there, because we know who your father is us. We're your fathers and your mothers, but who's our father and mother? Who's the father of blackness? None is like us. None is comparable to the original. None is comparable to your source, to your maker. We are your source. We are your maker. So those are natural, mathematical, historical, genetic facts that cause epic fury with the Satans. So here's a StreamYard link, though, if anybody wants to hop on and have a conversation. It's Ramadan, so you don't have to worry about ill spirit or evil intent or motives. Our job, our duty is to be as peaceful and friendly as possible. So if you disagree with anything, this is the time to express it. I won't take it personal. I won't get in my feelings or nothing like that. But I would love to hear, if anybody disagrees, I would love to hear and see your God and see the proof of whatever it is that you believe in, that you can prove is real and superior to the black man being the supreme being. If you believe in God or a higher power, could you show us? Could you show us that higher power? What justifies you believing that is God? Is a higher power God, or is just a higher power a higher power? Is electricity the higher power? Is energy the higher power? Is gravity or electromagnetism the higher power? What is the higher power that you call God? And how can you show it to us and prove it to us? And do you pray to it? Is it the ancestors? Do you believe in the thoughts or the minds or the souls or the disembodied spirits of human beings? Let me know what you believe in and what you can prove, and we can test it out. We can see if they can stop something from happening better than I can stop something from, because my God is a flesh and blood human being, black man that's alive. So if your God is something else, let's set up some type of experiment and see whether my God, in the person of me or my brothers or sisters, can stop it or start it or make it happen, versus your God in the spirit realm or the ether metaphysical realm. If you can make something happen or stop something from happening.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's how fair, right?
Yeah, that's fair. They can bring their Nephilims too.
Yeah.
I mean the Anunnaki.
Right. Bring your Anunnaki or your Nephilim or whatever it is, and I want to fade. I want to fade with him. That's how you're supposed to do it. It's not me mocking. I really want to fade with him.
Nah, that's real.
Because I'm a prove to the best of my ability that the human being, especially the black human being, is the supreme being. There is no being in existence superior to the human being, to the black human being of this planet. Show me. I'll be a follower of your God and your way overnight, immediately, but you never will be able to show me that.
Man.
KM 3042 said, a great pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Great pumpkin. The headless horseman. But yeah, man, StreamYard link is up, though. If anybody wants to converse in the best manner, in the peaceful Ramadan spirit, I I don't know how much clearer I can drive these certain points home because I have to challenge you. I have to make you uncomfortable. If you believe in God being something other than man, I have to make you uncomfortable because you standing on a fairy tale, fictitious idea that hasn't got us nowhere. You know, human beings is the ones that's doing all of the damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's supposed to be weather, y'all claiming that human beings controlling the weather. Y'all saying a white man is using harp and all that to control the weather. So show me the God that's superior to these white men. Y'all know how to give credit to some white men, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They the ones doing all the bombing. They the ones doing all the enslaving, all of the stealing and keeping the reparations from us. And you know, that's human beings. There ain't no ghosts and demon dragon monsters doing that. The only monsters doing that is them human beings that got pale skin.
Yep.
Stop me when I'm lying. Cut me off when I'm lying. Stop me if you heard this one.
Man. Nah, bro, you right and exact, man, because when you was talking earlier, when you was talking about how you know that inside a lot of our minds, we wonder why like damn, why all these people, they can attack these people and nothing pretty much happen to them, man, and you know, and who gonna stop them? You know what I'm saying? That's real, bro, because I used to always wonder that, like, man, how all these, U.S. presidents, it's like they get away with everything almost. They can go in, do this, do that. But yeah, I was just saying, you spot on, man, saying, it's like they was given that time to do all that.
Yeah. Who gonna stop them? And why haven't they been able to do that to Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan?
Mm,
Right?
right.
Why haven't they if they really HATE us like they say they do, you don't think they want to do us worse than they did Gaddafi, worse than they did Saddam Hussein, worse than they just did Ayatollah, worse than they did all of these other, people? You don't think they want to do Farrakhan and the nation worse than that? Why haven't they done it? Who's stopping them? Like, they're not worried about the global, appearance or the global backlash and what the world is going to see them as when they doing that to Palestine, to the Palestinians. They're not worried about the world, how the world views them when they doing this to Iran or to Iraq or Afghanistan or Sudan, or like, why they ain't doing us like that?
Mm,
Right?
yeah, that's a good question.
And their only answer, like the Bobby Hemmett dude or whatever, is because y'all in cahoots with the devil. Y'all work for the devil.
Yeah,
Y'all are the Illuminati.
that's that number one go to there.
Okay, well then you don't stand a chance then, nigga. You lost.
Man.
There's no hope for you. So you may as well be a 304 or whatever it is that you want to do. Keep doing that. That's your excuse, is because we really are the devils. We are really the Satans or the sellouts or the minions of the Dwight satanic people. Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, that's why y'all brains is frying.
Mm-hmm.
This is your brain on blasphemy. This is blasphemy. This is your brain on blasphemy.
Man.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, your man Trump and Trump and company, Netanyahu, and then whoever else. Um, it's not just the Islamic world. It's just not. It's not just the Middle East. This is causing uprisings. This is causing um, fury of white nations. So Russia, um, other parts of Europe, China, Korea, Pakistan. I mean, yeah, Pakistan. Other nuclear nations are in it now. Like they're not going to advertise it. They in it though. If they actually did take out Ayatollah Khomeini or whatever, I think that's his name, the supreme leader of Iran.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not qualified really enough to speak on his character or whatever, but I know that's a sovereign Muslim nation that believes in the Mahdi. I don't know how sincere or what their grade is, their grade level of Islam is. I'm not, familiar enough with them, but you know, I do got eyes and ears. I do observe pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Allah, Master Fard Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad allowed that, and is allowing that, it just takes me back to the title. God made Pharaoh so powerful that none could defeat him but he himself. That's how he makes himself known. That's how he causes the whole world to bow to him. Every tongue shall confess and every knee shall bow, because nobody else is going to be able to deal with this Satan but me. So all of y'all that's clowning and mocking Farrakhan and Elijah and NOI and all of that, then you going to see that God that y'all mocking and clowning is going to be the very one you're going to have to bow and submit and prostrate and kiss and beg, kiss feet and beg for mercy from and pray to. We are honored. We are happy to pray to this God. We know that this is our savior and deliverer, but you don't. You think that the white man or the white man's God is your savior and deliverer. So I have to show you supreme, divine, extreme demonstration and make this Pharaoh, make this Satan so powerful and do you so bad that you gonna cry and scream and beg this God that we talking about to save and deliver you. And it's your own black, loving black father. That's the cold part. Like, we just can't conceive a nigga being a God.
Man.
That's cold.
Yeah, that's cold.
So, yeah, man. Anyway, if y'all don't mind, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Saturday Night Live, March 1st on the East Coast. We in it. We into this final stretch of the great and dreadful war to end all wars, the war of Armageddon, the holy war that's mentioned in the Bible and Quran and everything else. We in it. And when they call your sons and call your daughters for the draft, what are you gonna say? Since you already think that they represent the real God, or they're the higher power, or they control the weather, are you going to send your sons and daughters? Are you going to allow them to go give their life for this Satan?
Man, yeah, because I seen a lot of people cheering it on, saying, yeah, they got him and all this. I'm like, wow.
Cliff X say, Brother Kim, why do you think Russia and China never do anything? Like, who says they never do anything? They definitely do something, but the satanic media propaganda is not going to give them no props. Like, why would the Satan's media make Russia or China or anybody else or Iran or anybody or the Nation of Islam make them look like they're stronger or they're more successful than the Satans? So we got to be careful thinking about making those type of statements just because we don't see it on Satan's media. Don't think they're not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, I don't know if y'all ever heard that old audio where he said, an ex general in Pakistan, told me something similar to what Master Pharaoh Muhammad told me. Like, yeah, brother, we've been preparing for this devil for 60 years, 70 now, 70 years. You know what I'm saying? He's no good. Only way out is just to unalive them all. And he said, this I know. I know, these scientists, that's why you hear me boast. So this is what Elijah Muhammad said. I know that when Allah and the holy scientists, the angels, let go of the forces of nature on them, they got no defense. Right. But he was talking about an ex general in Pakistan. He's like, yeah, we just got to make room here for you all. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, we know how to defeat this devil. We know, so that's part of the military prowess. That's part of the military strategy. There's no need to jump the gun. Allah has his time frame is already set. He has his time frame, and his time frame has something directly to do with Farrakhan. I'm gonna put this out there. Y'all don't have to believe it. None of this you have to believe. But the extension of time is Farrakhan. Farrakhan is the extension of time. Farrakhan is the one that's been begging and praying and standing in the way and asking Allah, asking Elijah for more time for us. It's all about Farrakhan. Now that he's quiet now, and he's about to be taken out of the way and removed, time is already up. But the Holy Quran say Allah would not chastise them while his messenger was among them. As soon as Farrakhan is removed from among us, in the way they spin it, if Farrakhan dies, if Farrakhan, however they're going to spin it on the news, then know from that point on, everything that you was asking about why the nation is and why China and such ain't get involved in this, watch everybody get involved. Everybody's going to get involved. Nuclear strikes, all kind of shit. It's not, we taught it's not going to be no nuclear strikes here. Master Pharaoh Muhammad, or Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, said that Master Pharaoh Muhammad was not going to allow no nuclear strikes from no other country to hit here. He said he preserved America for himself. America is his. He ain't gonna give the credit. He ain't gonna allow no other country, no other nation to destroy America. He said he gonna do that. He gonna let his angel do that. But Farrakhan is the thing that's holding back the full wrath. I'm telling you. But you'll see it. You'll see it as soon as they say that Farrakhan is dead or Farrakhan. You'll see it. I done taught my children the same. I done taught whenever you hear that Farrakhan is arrested or they put their hands on Farrakhan or Farrakhan is dead or something like that, and they announce it on the news, get off of the coastline. If you're on the West Coast, if you're on the East Coast, you're on the South Coast, get off of the coastline. Get out of California, get out of New York, get out of Texas or wherever get off of the coastline, but especially in California. Because when Jesus gave up the ghost, according to the Bible, right after that, according to the Bible, say that same hour, but it don't really mean within 60 minutes, but it just in that same season, the great earthquake took place. So that great earthquake that's mentioned in the Quran and mentioned in the Bible that divides, the whole country up into three parts and divides the people up into three parts. And there are three sorts: the foremost, the believer, and the hypocrite, or the lagger behind. That great event, that earthquake, is on the heels of the Jesus, the Messiah, giving up the ghost. That's when the full wrath and all of that is coming down. So I'm for those that, hint to the wise is sufficient. So we'll see. No.
Yeah, that's real.
But yeah, this is what this has to do with us, though. Pharaoh, which is the ruler of the modern Egypt, the modern Rome, the modern Babylon, which is the president or those that control the president, that control the government. So if Netanyahu is the real controller of the United States government, then that's the Pharaoh, whatever, whoever the Pharaoh is. You know what I'm saying? The Pharaoh is a collective. The dragon, we know the dragon represents the Pope in his circle, but the beast represents America and their circle. So it's talking about people, though. It's not talking about ghosts and monsters and spirits, none of that. It's all talking about the monstrous mindset in the demonic devil mindset that's in human beings, that's in these specific particular human beings that have enslaved us and destroyed us and terrorized and destroyed and contaminated the whole world, especially of the darker people of the planet. You know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
We know who they are. You don't want to believe it, so you just a disbeliever, and you're gonna go out like firewood, compost, fertilizer.
Mm.
Michael X said, anything specific to look for there or whole lecture? I don't understand what you're asking, Mike. Anything specific to look for there or whole lecture in general? I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, I think he's talking about when you was telling him to check out the one video when I think he was talking about the video with the Muslim Elijah Muhammad, I think.
Oh, okay. Let me see. I can actually maybe I could find this real quick. Hold on. Let me see. And it's you can find it on YouTube, but I think I got where's Coach Cam? Hang on 1 second. Is it on that one? Maybe it's on the trash. Excuse me. Dang, I know I had it on here. Hold on. Oh man, don't tell me I deleted it. All right, well I guess I don't. But it had to do with the this old devil's about the strongest thing when it comes to arms, strongest thing on earth when it comes to arms. He said he's built up a force of arms, brother, that's not equal, not even in Russia.
Mm.
So, but anyway, maybe we'll play that tomorrow. But yeah, there's a couple of no gun. Well, matter of fact, I can find it. I can find it on YouTube. Hold on, real quick, and then we could wrap it up after that. Yeah, there you go. Let me share this, and then we can take it on home. Stop sharing that. Share screen. And this is from, who is this? The Elijah Muhammad's YouTube channel.
Since Malcolm deviated, he went out and armed his followers, right? And I never have taught you to arm. And you were most successful without arm and those with arm, right? Not even Martin Luther was too wise to tell his followers to arm themselves because he knows the devil would kill them. I mean, because the devil have all the arms. You got to have a lot of arms to make a stand against him. Because if you outshoot him with rifles in this neighborhood, he'll go rope it off. He'll go and isolate this neighborhood. Then he'll get in his plane and come over and drop a little bomb on you. Or he'll sit out there and take one of his field pieces and throw some shells over you. You can't do nothing. You can't throw them back at him. Or he'll come and just strafe you, with machine gun fire. Go up and down the street with his, with his plane just flying low. You don't have one. Just strafe you all up and down the street. They're telling you to come out, and then after a while you cry out for some food. He's the only one selling you food. You don't have no food stowed away. Now how in the world you gonna fight up people like that? When they feed, you got to eat. Their food. You got to wear their clothes. You got to, stay under their shelter. How can you fight them with their arms? You're going to get be the loser. You're going to have your people slaughtered. That's what it is. I know these things in advance. He could just starve you to death. Just go and patrol your area and won't allow you to come out and nobody to go in. You can't get no help. You can't jump up and fly out of it. You don't have wings to fly. Now, how you going to get help? You said, my people across the water coming. They can't do it because they don't have an air force. Africa don't have no great air force or nothing like that to come here and aid you. They don't have no fleet, no navy to come here and bombard the shores of the United States. No, they can't help you. He's over there trying to get them to help. But you see, they could help you a little by uniting against America's brutality against you by telling her in the UN now you call yourself the chief nation for peace, and you just killing him day and night. They could probably ease up a little clubbing of you and me, but that yet, if America didn't want to do that, they can't fight us. America could whip Africa with all of her mechanized, armies. Why, they could roll over just like that, because Africa don't have that kind of, artillery to fight Americans in Europe. That's why they rule them. They got nothing to fight with. And you don't see no African ships backing up in the ports of America, do you? They don't have anything, brother. They slaves under the Western powers themselves. Egypt has some. But now she don't have no navy to come here to try to attack this devil's navy. No. You would never get, they would never get in sight. They'd be going to the bottom of the earth to get in sight. She don't have no air force strong enough to even start across the Atlantic to fight this devil. No. They knock them out before they ever can get here. This old devil is about the strongest thing on the earth when it comes to actually, arms. He have built up a force of arms, brother, that is not equal in Russia. So you can't fight him with that. Don't depend on fighting him with that. Find the other way. Get Allah, who knows how to fight, without artillery of his make. Now, he told me,
the Allah that he's talking about is Master Fard Muhammad, not the spook ghost Allah. He said, he told me. Matter of fact, let me back this up just a couple of seconds.
Now, he told me he will leave him to him. He's happy to destroy him. He said he hasn't got anything to destroy. He said take him in one day. He don't have nothing. He said, we know what he have. I told him about the poison gas when they get to it. He said, we know all about that. He said, we cut a corridor in the air lane. He says, poison gas can't cross it. He said, we know how to sell. He said, we know how to stop this devil. And he told me, he said, we've been preparing for him for 60 years. He said, we're ready, brother. And the devil knows that. And there is ex-general in Pakistan, he told me the same thing. He said, we've been preparing for this devil for 60 years, 70 now. He said, now we are ready. He said, we just have to get back and make room here for you all. He said, because we're ready. He said, he's no good. He said, the only way out is just to kill him. Right? Well, these scientists knows these things.
He said, these scientists knows these things, and the devil knows these things. So the devil knows that they've been given respite. The Holy Quran says, the devil said, respite me, Allah, postpone my doom until the day when they are raised. So they know they have a little window of time left to raise their last amount of hell and take as many of our people down with them as they possibly can. That's why they doing that, because they know that Allah gave his word. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to interfere until you cross a certain line. I'll immediately interfere if you put your hands on Farrakhan. Then we gonna set this whole thing off. But I'll let you put your hands on maybe anybody else other than Farrakhan, because if the Muslim world doesn't accept Farrakhan, then they not really under the umbrella, you know, of the reality of Allah all the way anyway themselves. The same with Gaddafi. When Gaddafi, you know, was rocking, you know, and following the guidance and instruction of Farrakhan, he stayed alive. As soon as he thought he was cool and he can come in out of the cold and start embracing Hillary Clinton and what's my man name, Barack Obama and all of that, and Farrakhan said, "Don't do that, brother. They never gonna trust you. They'll never be your friend." And he put his hand on Farrakhan's leg like, "I got this." You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So. But let me play the rest of this.
And that's why you hear me boast so. I know it. I know when Allah let loose the forces of nature against him, he got no defense. He can't fight that. I don't care if you have a stack of bombs, bombs, hydrogen bomb as high as Mount Everest. It wouldn't help him against that. He just have them there. Oh, it couldn't have helped him at all. So that's what Allah going to fight him.
So that's what Allah going to fight him with. So that's the God that knows that he's giving them time. He knows that the clock is Farrakhan. The watchman is Farrakhan. As soon as Farrakhan say, "I'm ready, Father," you know what I'm saying, "bring me in," then immediately, you know what I'm saying, you're going to see the mighty changes in progress. You're going to see stuff that we never seen before that the Bible talk about, famine and pestilence, just the beginnings of sorrows, wars and rumors of wars, nations against nations, and calamities like we never seen, forces of nature, calamities like we never seen before, and as well as so-called UFO activity or whatnot. But it's all designed to break America's military strength in war, allowing them to go to war and get exhausted and have their weapons and their ammunitions and their armies and all that depleted by various nations, by going to war with various nations at the same time, which is World War III. And then their power and influence is going to be broken. And you know, those that come back to America or whatever, you know, most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that they'll be able to take over America with sticks, with baseball bats and sticks or whatever, because they'll be thoroughly broken. They're going to be thoroughly broken. And once the wheels, you know, intervene on behalf of whoever they choose to intervene in behalf of, there's nothing they can do about it. And that's not something that they're going to advertise. They're not going to advertise as some bright orange objects or some bright, you know, whatever disc objects was interfering and intervening on behalf of Iran or on behalf of this Muslim nation or on behalf of, you know, they're not going to tell you that. they're already working to deceive you about what that is. They're gonna try to make you think that that's some kind of alien invasion that we all need to unite and put our differences down and unite against the Star Wars alien threat. That's what they're gonna hit niggas with. Yeah. So just understand, man, that they're gonna shut all of this down also, meaning your communication or your online ability to keep up to date with what the Muslims, the Nation of Islam wisdom and guidance is. So that's why you want to establish your own personal relationship, find your study group, find a mosque or a study group or some members of the Nation of Islam, and stay in contact with them, be around them, visit them, hang out with them or whatever, develop a relationship with them, because you're going to need that guidance in a few days. You're going to need to know what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, where to go, where not to go. And or you can trust your mystery God, you know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you choose to do, but I'm just saying, if you believe what you've seen and heard from the Nation of Islam and Minister Farrakhan to be true and good for us and the correct guidance, then you want to stay plugged in. You want to stay tapped in with that, because they're going to shut this internet stuff and this cell phone, these communications down. So your only way of keeping up to speed on what's going on with the Muslims and where y'all going, where we supposed to go, what we supposed to do now, is you're going to have a direct relationship with the Muslims or with the mosque. So why not do that? Because other people is doing it. Other races is wise enough to do it. They value this information more than we do. And when I say we, I'm talking about our black people still in the street. So don't let somebody else benefit from your own advantage, from your own you are the VIP, you're the chosen people. Don't let somebody else take and benefit off of your identity and your blessings more than you was willing to. That'd be the ultimate regret. That'd be the ultimate regret. Like, damn, I had action at that and I played it like it wasn't real or it wasn't important. And then I seen white people and Asian people and Hispanic people and all kind of other people that valued it and was able to save themselves and their families and get out of harm's way. And I thought I was so tough and pro-black and the real God, you know what I'm saying, highly favored and blessed and all that stuff. And your real God, a highly favored God, ain't teach you nothing about military survival, nothing about how to store up food and water, and nothing about how to network during guerrilla warfare or unrest situations. So good luck with that mystery God and the mystery Jesus out there. But yeah, you got the last word, Madon, unless there's something else you wanted to speak on real quick.
Now we can wrap it up, man. I think you covered a lot, man. You went in, you know what I mean? The information was definitely needed, man. You know what I mean? And I just say to the people, man, just keep the courage, don't get discouraged. And we're living in some serious times right now, so just